Hello everyone and welcome back to another Drivenmad video. Now today I've got a very exciting video. I have a brand new steering wheel and airbag for my Abarth. Now these took a little while to come. This one came from Abarth Tuning and I got this off of eBay because the Fiat dealer was extortionate. I think just for the airbag it was nearly €1,000. So I managed to pick this up way cheaper than that, and the steering wheel also. So let's unbox them and get them out. Now this is going to be my first time ever changing a steering wheel. The steering wheel I'm not so worried about. It's that bugger right there, that airbag, I'm a little bit nervous about. So let's get in and start with the exciting bit, the steering wheel. So this is an OEM exact direct replica of mine, not replica, a direct swap for mine. You can see like for like. It's very light, it's like really light. It's got the red leather stitching and the black leather around the outside. I love this colour scheme. I thought about facelifting it or changing the colour scheme, but in the end I actually just like this one so much I'm keeping it. So there's the steering wheel, there. And now it's time for the airbag. Let's have a little look at this bad boy. If I'm being brutally honest, this scares the shit out of me. So there it is. You can see it's got the Abarth logo on it and brand new, still sticker covered. Now I'll move you in a bit closer and we'll have a little look at how I think this is going to work. Right then, so if I put that like so, you can see hopefully that the steering wheel has three little hooks here and a little tablet inside. You can see coming through the back here, you can put a screwdriver or something in and you can get to these holes. Now these holes are these three. You see there's a pin here, and pin here, and what they do is, you see they move, they can be pushed out of the way. So when you push the airbag in, they clip in underneath these hooks, these three, and then the airbag's obviously secured in. So in order to take the other one out, I'm going to have to put a screwdriver in behind and move these out one by one until the airbag comes out. And then there's the main connection in the middle, and then there's the connection here for the horn. This says remove before installation, so I'm guessing that might be a sensitive part. And all these three springs are for the horn. You can see they push down and connect the circuit, which equals to the plug. So that's quite good, quite straightforward, and hopefully I don't blow myself up. Now before you even start to head towards an airbag, make sure you disconnect the battery and make sure it's been disconnected for at least an hour to make sure there's absolutely no chance, or as little chance as possible, as any electricity going to that airbag. Now I've disconnected mine. It's been about 15 minutes, so I'm going to catch up with you guys in a bit after it's been well over an hour. Okay, so you join me back and it's been about an hour. So if you can see here, the old steering wheel's all torn up and the dent in the airbag here is very visible. You can see the battery's not on, the horn's not working. And for my steering wheel, I have two screws underneath here, which are Phillips screws, which I have to take off to remove this bottom half of the plastic trim to come off. And then behind I have three on each spoke, one there, and around the other side, little tabs to push to get the airbag to pop out. Now other cars are different. There is one model that has two holes here, one here and one here, and you push them in to release the tabs. There's only two. That one's easier, mine is the more difficult. So we're going to start off by removing this piece of trim. Okay, now that felt absolutely horrid. That just was a bit of brute force. Both the clips each side are intact by some miracle. So we're going to pop that to the side now. Okay, so here up behind the steering wheel, you can see there's hole number one, and then up there's hole number two, which we'll have to turn the steering wheel to get to it, and then on the other side there's the third. So we'll start with this big bottom one and then we will work our way around the other two. Right, there's one popped off. Right, there we go, number two. But hey, okay, airbag's out. Right then, airbag's out, and the little plug on the top is for the horn. Right, so you can see that one there is off. Okay, so they just have to be pushed in. There's one, there's another one, and it's out. That's it, guys, airbag is out. So I've got a bit of an issue. My new airbag only has one plug, and obviously my car has two, so I don't quite know what's going on there, but what we will do is find out and order the correct one. But for now, I'm going to just change the steering wheel and get the other airbag back in so I can drive it. Now we've got to get the buttons off. So there seems to be one clip up the top and two clips in the bottom, so we've just got to basically wiggle that free, pop them out by the looks of it. There we go. Keep wiggling. There we go, that's them out. Sit there. Right, there we go, there's number two. And then we've just got the two flappy paddle controls, which seem to be, you have to disconnect them as well before the steering wheel comes off. Okay, so it's a T20 to remove these flappy paddles. Right, there's the little screw. These are just little pinch plugs, so you just got to pinch a bit and then pull, but sort of like you need multiple pairs of hands at once. Right, so you can see on the flappy pedal there that there's just two little plugs which pop off. Okay, and the other side, the downshifting button, only has one little switch, which is there. That's weird. 1 and 2, bizarre. So on this side you have to pull the wires out, and then you have to push these little connections through this hole, and then your steering buttons and also one of the main connector for your flappy paddles comes off as well, and the horn connector. So that's like a little harness that goes inside the steering wheel. Final little job now then is just to make sure all the wires are dead in the center of this. There we go. So now we have this little bit of harness out as well. Okay, so now with all the wiring out the way, it's time to undo it. This is a 24mm nut, and we'll just get that off. I'm going to turn that so hopefully the steering lock comes on. Or not. There we go. Right, that should stop me from... There we go. Wasn't that tight? Right, there we are. Now this has got blue thread locker on it, so I will be installing it again with blue thread locker. Right, and now line that roughly back up. Luckily the steering wheels do have little markers, and the actual spline you slide it onto has a marker. So that's it, steering wheel off. We'll just pull these cables through, get them through one by one there. That one. Then airbags. Right, and there we are. Steering wheel is off. The only thing to bear in mind is to keep this steering piece in line. There's a little red dot up here. You just got to keep it roughly in line with the center. So we'll start pushing our wiring back through. Right, there we go. Pull that through and make sure that that piece comes through. Right, now it's all about just getting that spline lined up, which is very, very easy. There we go. That's it, our wiring's come through, the white piece of plastic behind is through, that is on. Oh, new steering wheel's feeling nice. I'm excited for this, really excited. So I'm now going to get the blue thread locker. Nice and tight, there we go. That's it on. these through the holes in the back. Just pushing it back into its little clips, obviously to make sure that the wires don't get in the way of the airbag. So we'll plug that back in. Our main plug goes back in like that. Now it's our positive, our changing up gear that gets the main second plug, so that's got to go through as well. Right, okay, there is plug number 2 through. Just fed that in, and that can go up and behind there as well. They all get tucked in to these little grooves. So we'll get the left side in, just pushed in like so. There we go. Goes in just like that. Nice and simple, just a push. And then you just got to push all the wires inlet into these little grooves, which are sort of in foam in the side. So I'm using the Velcro bit where they're all sort of tied together to push them in so I don't damage the wires at all. Right, so you can see all the wiring is in and sort of to the side. So what we're going to do is now get the flappy pedals installed again. So get each wire, and I'm going to plug these 2 in. Let me see which one's which. Okay, so it's time to pop the airbag back in. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, and then the horn switch back in, and then just basically there we go, airbag is back in. Now, for all of you wondering, I've put the old airbag back in because the other one had 1 plug, this one has 2, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. I will order that, but the majority of the work was actually inside the steering wheel, obviously just taking all the wires out before replacing it itself. So that looks incredible, I'm really happy with that. Let me wash my hands and then I'm going to have a little feel. Okay. I've washed my hands now, they're all clean and tidy. Let's bring that back down. My hands are a bit wet, but oh my, that feels so much nicer.